Namaste students. I am Javin Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the topic adsorption. Adsorption is used for the separation of the liquid separation, and this topic belongs to the downstream processing. The subject downstream processing is in the BSc Biotech 6th semester. So my topic is adsorptions. So we will start from the basic of the adsorption. Adsorption is defined as a process in which some atoms, some molecules, some ions will move from a bulk, okay, will move from a bulk phase onto solid support surface. There can be any liquid, solid, or gas, which can be make a bulk, and they will then bound to a solid or liquid surface. In other words, it is a addition of some atoms, some ions, and some molecules from gas, liquid, or dissolved solids onto a surface. Means the molecules which are present in any kind of molecules, the molecules or product which is present with any ions and any atoms which is present in any solution, any gaseous solution, any solution, or any gaseous solution, then these are deposited, these are attached to any solid surface or liquid surface, then this process is known as the adsorption. Two terms are there. One is adsorbate, second one is adsorbent. Adsorbate is the substance which is adsorbed, which is adsorbed on the surface. And the adsorbent is the substance on which on which the surface is adsorbed. Means adsorbent is the substances on which surface, जिसकी surface के ऊपर हमें adsorb करना है, उसको कहते हैं adsorbent. So adsorption principle. What is the principle of the adsorption? Adsorption is a surface phenomena, and it is consequence of surface energy. It is dependent on the surface energy. Surface of liquid or solid is in state of strain, which results in the unbalanced residual force at the surface and thereby resulting in the higher surface energy. The surface of the liquid solid always have a tendency to attract and retain the molecules and which come in contact to each other. So each molecule will attract each other. This phenomenon is known as the adsorption. So in the gas, in the liquid, in the solid, all the molecules will have the power to attract each other, will have the power to attract some molecules. There is some molecules which attract, and this phenomenon will be known as the adsorption. Adsorption is the accumulation of the substance at the surface, and absorption, before poly. Absorption is the accumulation and distribution of a substance throughout a phase. So this is the difference between the adsorption and the absorption. In the absorption, they are distributed throughout the phase. For example, a cloth, cloth will absorb. Cloth will absorb the drop of water. So the water is distributed throughout the surface. And in the adsorption, it will not spread throughout the surface of the towel or throughout the surface of the cloth. So that is the basic of the adsorption and the absorption. some more examples, such as that drugs are absorbed by the membrane. Drugs are absorbed by the membrane. Enzymes or cell wall, when they are attached to its surface, they are absorbed by the tissue, organ, or blood when they permeate its entire bulk or wall. Adsorption is also known as the partitioning, means it is a bulk. In the absorption, there are some bulk molecules are in a bulk one on one together. Okay, on one together like a single ball. But in the adsorption, uh, they they get attached to each other. They only get attached to each other. They are not uh, in all the surface throughout. Only on the up in the adsorption, they are present only on the upper upper side, not on the throughout surface. Next is the type of the absorptions. What are the types of the absorptions? So first is the Fiji absorption. Fiji absorptions. What is the Fiji absorption? Fiji Fiji absorption is also known the physical absorption. Physical absorption. It is a type of the absorption in which the adsorbate adheres to the surface only through the van der Waals forces. The adsorbate, which need to be adsorbed, will bind to the surface by the van der Waals force, weak intramolecular interactions, which are also responsible for the non-ideal behavior of the real cases. So they are bound to each other by the uh, weak forces, and they are also responsible for the non-ideal behavior of the gases. Next is the chemical adsorption. What is the chemical absorption? In the chemical adsorption, uh, this is also known as the chemiabsorption. Chemiabsorption. In the chemical adsorption, the adsorbate which are attached to the adsorbent by primary chemical bond. Okay, they are adsorbed on the surface by primary chemical bond, and it is irreversible, it is stronger, it is specific, and it may require an activation energy. Means it may require some activation energy so that it will bind to any surface if if provided. If provided, not necessary. If provided, it will bind, and therefore it will be slow. Only monomolecular chemi-adsorb layer are possible. There are some differences between the chemical absorption and the physical absorption. Chemical absorption is not very specific, but physical absorption is not specific, but chemical absorption is very specific, highly specific. In the chemical adsorption, no electron transfer, no electron transfer, and therefore the polarization of the adsorbent will occur. In the chemical adsorption, electron transfer will lead to the bond formation. Okay, there will be a bond formation in the chemical transfer between the adsorbent and the adsorbent, strong bond. In the physical adsorption, it is rapid, it is non-activated, and it is reversible. But chemical adsorption is the activated, may be slow, and it is irreversible. Means the molecule which has been bound will not be dissociated. In the physical adsorption, no dissociation of the adsorbed species is found. In the chemical, it may involve some dissociation. The physical adsorption may be of monolayer or multilayer. In the chemical adsorption, it is on the monolayer only. In the physical adsorption, it is only significant or relatively low temperature, but the chemical composition is over a wide range of the temperature. It is not dependent on any kind of temperature. In the physical adsorption, enthalpies are in the region of the minus 20 kilojoule per mole. In the chemical adsorption, the chemical adsorption enthalpy are in the region of the minus 200 kilojoule per mole. The last difference is that when the temperature will increase, the process of physical absorption will decrease. But in the case of the chemical absorption, with increase in the temperature, chemical absorption first increases and then it will decrease. So two effects will be on the chemical absorption on the temperature. So I hope the students will better understand all these. So these in the adsorption, the liquid and solid is also important, and the factors which affect chemical and physical adsorption is also important. In the liquid adsorption, how the adsorption is carried out in the liquid, and how uh, and what are the factors which will affect the absorption are also important. So I will discuss all these topics in the next session. And, now take a look on today's topic. First, I discussed about the basic of the adsorption. What is the basic? What is the adsorbent? And what is the adsorbent? And what is the basic principle of the adsorption? What is the definition? What is the difference between the adsorption and the absorption? What are the type of the adsorption? Physical absorption, chemical absorption. And what is the basic difference between the chemical absorption and the physical absorption? So I hope that students will better understand all this. Uh, what kind of questions which can be asked in this lecture? The examiner can ask some questions such as explain physical absorption, explain chemical absorption, explain adsorption in the liquid-liquid separation. What are the basic principles of the adsorption? Explain the difference between the adsorption and the absorption. Explain the difference between the chemical adsorption and the physical adsorption. Explain the types of the adsorption. What is the adsorption in the liquid and the solid? And what are the factors which can affect adsorptions? What are the types of the adsorbents? Different types of adsorbents. So they can also be asked. What are the chemical adsorbents? What are the application of the adsorptions? What is the scope of the adsorption? And so these questions can be asked in the adsorption. So I hope I explain in next lecture also, and I hope that the matter that I have explained today is better understood by the students. So I will explain some more things in the next lecture. Thank you very much.